students. I am Sanju Hazria, Assistant Professor of English at Government College Ratangad. Today I am going to explain Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem The Lotus Eaters Part 2. This part is known as the chorus, and the chorus has 8 stanzas, and this is included in BA Part 2 by Maharaja Ganga Singh University. So today I am going to explain first 4 stanzas of part 2. This is first stanza in chorus. There is sweet music here that softer falls than petals from blown roses on the grass, or night dews on still waters between walls of shadowy granite in a gleaming pass. Music that gentlier on the spirit lies than tired eyelids upon tired eyes. Music that brings sweet sleep down from the blissful skies. Here are cool mosses deep, and through the moss the ivies creep. And in the stream the long-lived flower weep, and from the craggy lace the poppy hangs in sleep. So after having rest in that island, what are the feelings, what are the emotions of those mariners are described in this choric song. So this is the first stanza, and what they are saying: there is sweet music here that softer falls. Now the island appears them that it is full of music. Means they are saying that this island is full of sweet music that softer falls, and that falls in a very soft manner. This music is falling, this music is coming to their ears in a very softer manner than petals from blown roses on the grass, and this music is more softer than the petals which fall from the blown roses. When the roses are blossomed, they are fully grown, they fall from their branch and fall on the grass. So they fall in a very softer manner, but this music is more softer than the petals which are falling on the grass after blowing off. Or night dews on still waters between walls, and this music is more softer, more sweet than the night dews. And at the night, when the dew drops are falling on still waters, they are falling in a very softer manner, but this music is more softer than the night dews which are falling on the still waters between walls of shadowy granite, and these dew drops are falling between the walls of the shadowy granite. Means the wall is made of the granite, and these dew drops are falling between them in a gleaming path, and this is the bright path, this is the bright path on which these dew drops are falling between the walls. Music that gentlier on the spirit lies, and this music which is created in that island is gentlier, it is very soft and gentle, and it is falling gently on the spirit, on the soul of those mariners. Then tired eyelids upon tired eyes. When a person is tired, his tired eyelids fall upon the tired eyes in a very gentle manner, in a very softer manner, but this music is more softer than the falling of the tired eyelids upon the tired eyes. So he is presenting the metaphor after telling that the music is in a very softer manner falling at that place. So then tired eyelids upon tired eyes means he is giving more and more examples how the music is softer. Music that brings sweet sleep down from the blissful skies. It is that type of music which is bringing sweet sleep. It is bringing sweet sleep down from the blissful skies, from the happy skies. Means it is bringing the sweet sleep from the heaven. So you can compare that music with heavenly music, and it is bringing with it the sweet sleep for those mariners. Here are cool mosses deep, and here cool mosses means here the water is covered with moss and it is very deep. So cool mosses are very deep here, and through the moss the ivies creep, and through the moss the ivies are creeping, ivies are growing, means ivies, ivy is a plant which is creeping through the mosses. And in the stream the long leaved flowers weep, and in the small river the long leaved flowers are weeping. Long lived flowers are weeping means the dewdrops are appearing like the tears of those flowers, so they are appearing like they are weeping. So and in the stream the long lived flowers are weeping. And from the craggy ledge the poppy hangs in sleep, and from the craggy ledge, and craggy means uneven, it is not even, ledge means cliff, and from the craggy ledge the poppy hangs in sleep. Poppy is hanging in such manner that it is sleeping, means everything is appearing that it is having rest. So they are giving the examples of natural things that everything is in the mode of rest. Okay, so they don't want to go again to their homeland, and they want to have the rest in that island. So this is the emotion after eating the fruit, after eating the lotus fruit. Okay, so I think you understood it. And now the second stanza. Why are we weighed upon with heaviness, and utterly consumed with sharp distress, while all things else have rest from weariness, all things have rest? Why should we toil alone? We only toil who are the first of things, and make perpetual moan, still from one sorrow to another thrown, nor ever fold our wings and cease from wanderings, nor steep our brows in slumber's holy balm, nor hearken what the inner spirit sings. There is no joy but calm. Why should we only toil, the roof and crown of things? Now they are questioning why they should work hard when everything in nature is in the mode of rest, everything is resting. So why the people should work? Now I am going to explain it line to line. Why are we weighed upon with heaviness? Now the omniscient narrator is asking a question. Why are we weighed upon? Why we are burdened with heaviness? Why we are heavily burdened? Why we are heavily burdened with the so much work? So why we are weighed upon with heaviness, and utterly consumed with sharp distress, and we are eaten by sharp tension. We are always in tension of the work. So and utterly consumed, we are consumed with the sharp tension, with the sharp distress, with the sharp burden, while all things else have rest from weariness, when everything in nature is having rest from this tiresome work, while everything, all things are having rest from this weariness, all things have rest. So everything in this nature is resting. Why should we toil alone? Now his question is, why should we work alone? Why the people, the human beings are working on this land all alone? So why should we toil alone? Why should we do work hard alone? We only toil. We only means only human beings work on this earth, who are the first of things, who are the superior things, means who are the superior from everything. So who are the first of things, who are on the topmost of the things, and make perpetual moan, and they are continuously mourning, they are continuously crying, they are continuously weeping because of the burdens, because of the perpetual work, still from one sorrow to another thrown. Because why they are mourning? Because human beings are thrown from one sorrow to another, they are thrown from one burden to another. Nor ever fold our wings. Here wings means that we don't rest, we don't fold our wings, we don't take rest from our works. So nor ever fold our wings. and cease from wanderings, and we don't stop from our quest, from our wanderings, from our selling. Means here mariner is telling about their sailings. They are wandering and they are questing from one shore to another shore, so they don't cease from wanderings. Human beings don't stop from working, nor steep our brows in slumber's holy balm, and we don't take rest, and we don't fold our brows in sleep, which is like a holy balm, which is very very peaceful, which is very calm, and we should do so. We should take rest, we should sleep, nor hearken, we don't hear what the inner spirit sings, what our inner spirit is singing a song. What song is sung by our inner spirit, by our soul, is not hearken by ourselves, by us. We don't hear what is said by our inner spirit. There is no joy but calm, there is not joy, thou we don't get joy but calm. But in resting there is a great calm, there is peacefulness. Why should we only toil? So why should we work hard? Why should we only toil? Means why should human beings should work hard in their life, while other lives, other creatures are resting? So why should we only toil? The roof and crown of things. And now he is saying that human being is the roof and crown, means he is the topmost from other creatures. So why he should work hard while other creatures are not doing so? So this stanza presents the mood of the mariners. Now they are in the mood of taking rest, and now they don't want to return again to their source. So this is our second stanza of the part second. I think you understood it. Now our third stanza. Lo, in the middle of the wood, the folded leaf is wood from out the bud, with winds upon the branch, and there grows green and broad, and takes no care. Sun is steeped at noon, and in the moon nightly dew fade, and turning yellow falls and floats adown the air. Lo, sweetened with the summer light, the full juiced apple, waxing over mellow, drops in a silent autumn night. All its allotted length of days, the flower ripens in its place, ripens and fades and falls, and hath no toil, fast rooted in the fruitful soil. Now the poet is giving more and more examples how the natural objects work. They do not do any hard work, and they are completing their lifespan. So lo, now he wants to attract our attention, what is going in nature. So lo, he is attracting our attention by this word. In the middle of the wood, in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the wood, in the middle of the forest, the folded leaf is wood from out the bud. The folded leaf is wood, means the folded leaf is wood from out the bud. The folded leaf comes out from the bud in a very lovely manner, with full of love, with full of care, with winds upon the branch, and winds are blowing upon the branch, means when the wind blows, with full of love the leaf come out from the bud, and there grows green and broad, and then it becomes green and broad, means that leaf comes out from the bud, and then it grows green and broad, and takes no care, and no care is taken by that leaf, no hard work is done by that leaf for that thing. Sun is steeped at noon, sun comes at noon, and in the moon nightly dew fade, and at the time of night dew drops fade it with water, means this leaf is fed by nightly dew at night, and sun also provide food that leaf, and turning yellow, and after its lifespan is complete, it turns yellow, falls, then it falls. Means it dies in a very natural process. Through a natural process, it dies, it falls and floats down the air, and it is taken away by the air. So this is lifespan of the leaf. It does not do any hard work to live a life and floats down the air. So it is taken away at the end by the air. Lo, now he is attracting our attention again. Sweetened with the summer light. It is sweetened, means it is made sweetened with the summer light. He is telling about the full juiced apple, means apple. Now he is telling about the apple, how apple spends its life. The apple is made full juiced by the summer light, by the sunlight, and it is sweetened by the summer light, waxing over mellow, and then it becomes more and more softer, drops in a silent autumn night, and then after growing and after becoming juicy, after becoming softer, it drops, it falls in a silent autumn night. In silent autumn night, it falls from its branches all its allotted length of days, and this is the process of spending their allotted length of days. The natural objects spend their allotted length of days in this manner. They do not do any hard work, so all its allotted length of days. The flower ripens in its place. Now he is giving the example of the flower. Flower ripens. Flower also get maturity in its place. Ripens and fades. It ripens, it matures and then faded, means its color is faded and falls, and then after that it falls and hath no toil, and it has work, means it has do no toil, means it is working not any hard work. Fast rooted in the fruitful soil. Even it is fastly rooted in that fruitful soil. Soil is very fruitful, it gives so many fruits. It is the natural process, and all types of these plants are fastly rooted without any hard work. So now the omniscient narrator is asking the question, why should they work hard when they are the top of the creatures? Why they should work hard? So this is the question of the mariners after taking that, after eating that fruit. Okay, so I think you understood this third stanza, and now we are heading towards our fourth stanza. This is our fourth stanza. Hateful is the dark blue sky, vaulted over the dark blue sea. Death is the end of life. Ah, why should life or labor be? Let us alone. Time driveth onward fast, and in a little while our lips are dumb. Let us alone. What is it that will last? In fourth stanza, the mariner, the omniscient narrator, is saying, hateful is the dark blue sky. This is the effect of lotus flower, lotus fruit, that hateful is the dark blue sky. The dark blue sky is appearing very hateful to them, because they sail in the sea towards the after seeing the star in the sky. So now the sky, the dark blue sky, is appearing very hateful to them, because they don't want to work. So hateful is the dark blue sky. This dark sky, this blue sky is very hateful, vaulted over the dark blue sea, and this is like a vaulted, means this is like a roof over the dark blue sky. So this sea is, means sky is working like a roof over the dark blue sea. So the blue sea is also hateful to them, because they don't want to go in the sea again. So this sea is also hateful to them. Death is the end of life. As it is natural that death ends the life, so death is the end of life. So why they should work hard when the end of the life is death? So why they should do hard work? Why should life or labor be? So why they should do so much labor? Why they should do so much hard work? Let us alone. Now they want to live alone. Now they want to live lonely on that island. Time drives onward fast. Time is passing very fast. Time is going on in a very fast manner. So with the time their death is also approaching near to them. So their death may approach to them at any time. And in a little while our lips are dumb, and life is very short. So in a little while our lips will be dumb, we will be dead, and after death our lips will become dumb, we can't speak. So let us alone. So now they want to live lonely on that island. Now they want to live alone on that island. What is it? What will last? There is nothing on this land, there is nothing on this earth which will live for forever. So what is it that will last? There is nothing which will live for forever. And all things are taken from us and become portions and parcels of the dreadful past. Let us alone. What pleasure can we have to war with evil? Is there any peace in ever climbing up the climbing wave? All things have rest and ripen toward the grave. In silence ripen, fall and cease. Give us long rest, O death, dark death, O dreamful ease. So this is also our fourth stanza. And all things are taken from us. Everything is taken from us after our death. So nothing is permanent in this world. All things are taken away from us and become portions and parcels of the dreadful past. And after our death, everything becomes part and parcel of our dreadful past. Everything becomes past after death. So everything is taken away from us by the time after our death, and it becomes our past, our dreadful past, our horrified past. Let us alone. So now they want to live alone on that island. They want to live peacefully on that island all alone. What pleasure can we have to war with evil? After having war with evil, with bad persons, with bad things, what pleasure they get? Means why they are having battles with evil persons? Why they are battling with such evils? What pleasure they are deriving? They are not getting any pleasure after waging wars with evil. Is there any peace? Now he is asking a question. Is there any peace? There is any peace in ever climbing up the climbing wave? There is not any peace. Means he wants to answer that there is not any peace in climbing up the climbing wave. So there is not any pleasure in sailing in that sea. So why they are sailing again and again on those tiding waves? All things have rest. Everything in nature is in resting mode. Everything in nature is resting and ripen. They grows and towards the grave, and then they die. So they want to lead the natural life. They want to have rest. They want to grow in a very lazy manner, and then they want a peaceful death. In silence, they ripen in silence. They grow in silence. Then they ripen. They get maturity. Then they fall and cease. And in this manner, they stop living. So they grows in, means all natural things grows in a very silent manner. Then they get maturity. Then they die, and in this manner they cease. They stop living. Give us long rest or death. Now his wish is, means the omniscient narrator is presenting the wish of the all mariners. Their wish is that if they are given long rest or death, they want to live long in a very peaceful manner, or they want to die. dark death. They want to die in that darkness or dreamful age, or they want that ease, that comfort, that relaxation in a dreamful condition. Means they want to live a very peaceful life or they want to die. So he is presenting the options that if the God gives them the peaceful life or they want to have death. So this is our fourth stanza, and I think you understood it. And in my next video I will explain next four stanzas of the part second of this chorus. Now thanks for watching this video. Okay.